So, welcome, ladies and gents. I thought we would have a good laugh about this because this is hilarious. I saw this over on Twitter this morning. You'll see my reply there. Nate or Mr. H Reviews. That's me, Mr. H Reviews on Twitter. Give me a follow, and you can stay up to date on these hilarious incidences. So, this is all about the whale. The whale is copping some flack. Oh, we hate the whale. Oh no. I've done a video on this before because it copped a whole bunch of flack when it was being screened. There was lots of people going, it's fat phobic and all this kind of nonsense. It's reliving trauma for me. I'm a fat person reviewing it. Blah, 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 blah. All this crap. But it's getting even worse. KB Halen. You've just made a complete fool of yourself. An absolute fool of yourself. She tweeted this out. It says, so disappointing that the whale won the Oscar for best hair and makeup. No explanation aside from fat suits are harmful. They're not your opportunity to win awards. One, it was a good fat suit, so good that it won the award. It was a good fat suit. What's the issue? It wins an award because it's a good fat suit, because it's got good makeup, you know? So, objectively, that's fine. They're not your opportunity to win awards. They are. They absolutely are. But check this out. Our identity is not your costume. Being fat isn't an identity. You utter fool. If being fat is an identity, an immutable characteristic, something which you're born being, remove it from disability, supporting, medical elements, things like this. It's just an identity. I'm just fat because I was just born that way. No. Being fat is literally an identity. It's not an identity. It's literally a disability for these people. £600? You want to cast a £600 actor? They're not going to be able to walk up the bloody flight of stairs. Their cankles would snap. If you don't know what a cankle is, it's where someone is so large they don't have an ankle. It's just knee to ankle and one gelatinous blob. Cast fat actors to play fat characters. There are no actors that are £600 £600. £600. Fat phobia. It's not fat phobia. Alright? You wouldn't cast an anorexic. Well, there was a Netflix show which cast an anorexic to play an anorexic, and it caught a whole bunch of flack. Now, the reason why I came across this was because, well, it was because Dove, you know, the skin soap moisturizer, was like, stop giving fat suits awards. We want better representation in Hollywood. Better. So I was like, what? Better representation of obesity in Hollywood? Good God, no. Let's not change beauty. It's inherently unhealthy to be obese. Drop the double standard. You would not champion better anorexic representation. So bugger off and make soap. The absolute disgrace. Change beauty? No. No, let's not. Let's absolutely not. Now, I don't have any issue with people who want to, you know, eat themselves into oblivion. That's absolutely fine. But don't bury your head in your cheeseburger and think for 1 second that you're not the other end of the spectrum of anorexia, because you are. It's an eating disorder. It's a fact. It's a fact. Goodness me. Now, I always fail to note a bunch of these things because I feel like it's obvious, but let me cater to the lowest common denominator here. Obviously, there are situations where people are obese outside of their control. I'm not talking about them, obviously. Neither is Dove. Feel like I have to say that. So yeah, I replied, look, being fat is not an identity. Go get a hobby and lose some weight. Your personality is the only thing that's about you that's clearly thin here. And this is the thing. If your identity is inherently linked to your fatness, then you've got a real problem. You have the most paper-thin personality ever. Just go get a hobby. Lose some weight, go get a hobby, have an interest. But your interest is championing fatness. Why? I just want to make everyone fat like me. Because I'm, gross and, you know, I just want everyone to die? Cool, perfect. Well, I've got greater respect for my fellow man. And as much as it's painful to say it, or hear it for some people, being obese isn't good. You should lose some weight. It's unfortunate, but that is just the case. But this absolute nonsense. Someone was like, look, they cast the best... This, just wait, it gets better. They cast the best person actor for the role. Sometimes they're not always the right size, so they use prosthetics. I'm sure they did see larger people at auditions. They just weren't as good. You can't hire the wrong actor just because they fit the physical part, which is true. Absolutely, that's true. And Brendan Fraser did a standout performance in The Whale. He deserved it. Oh, what did she reply with? That's what they used to say about putting white actors in blackface. I'm just going to let that sink in, guys. Let that sink in. This woman compared someone in a fat suit to blackface. That's how inherently she believes that fatness is an identity. It's an immutable characteristic, just like being black, apparently. The absolute joke of this. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. And by the way, they actually did. They actually did try and cast a fat person, but they just couldn't because it's too risky. They tried, but due to health issues of a person being 600 pounds, they couldn't cast someone because, you know, being obese creates massive health problems. And this is from EW, Entertainment Weekly. Darren Aronofsky says he tried to research obese actors for The Whale. But he couldn't. Couldn't find any actors who could pull it off. And what was it? It just, honestly, it's so hilarious. Director Darren Aronofsky has revealed that he initially considered casting an obese actor in the role of a 600-pound gay man that eventually went to Brendan Fraser. So he said, there was a chapter in the making of this film where we tried to research actors with obesity. Outside of not being able to find an actor who could pull off the emotions of the role, it just becomes a crazy chase. Like, if you can't find a 600-pound actor, is a 300-pound actor or a 400-pound actor enough? He added that he also grew concerned over whether a 600-pound person living the same health issues as Charlie, the lead character, would physically be able to perform in the production. No, they're a risk. From a health perspective, it's prohibitive. It's an impossible role to fill with a real person dealing with those issues. This is just absolute... This is absolute clown world. The title... This... absolute clown world. Clown world. And this nonsense from Dove. God, this pissed me off so much. Does Dove make money on diabetes and heart disease treatment? I thought you were a soap manufacturer. No, they sell them the chocolate and keep the cycle going. Well, anyway, ladies and gents, I thought this was funny. The Whale's a great film. You should watch it. No, fatness is not an identity, and if it is, go get a hobby and lose some weight.